What made you get into photography?
Okay, so I took a couple classes in like digital media, and so I learned Photoshop and digital manipulation from Dave Boswick, and I really started taking off at that. So graphic design was initially like my first passion, and I got to the point where I was doing like athletic posters and like doing just graphic design for athletes. And then I was like, okay, well, I need my own pictures. You know, I was using other people's pictures or stuff that they gave me, and I was like, well, I need to take my own stuff so I can actually be able to sell it to people and not, you know, have copyright issues. And so that made me like want to do photography. And so 2010, I went out and I financed my first like SLR digital camera, and I literally, like, I had the manual, I had a bunch of like just stuff that came with it, but I didn't look at any of that. I just went out and took my camera everywhere and shot everything. And it was all through experience and just learning and just shooting everything. And that's when I really started to grow a real passion for it.
And when did you start your photography business?
That came, I would say 2011, in the summer of 2011. I got this software called Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, and it's like an editing software. And so I was looking at some of the pictures I took, and what a lot of people don't realize is, yeah, it looks really great on the camera, or like photography is about, you know, taking really good pictures, but 50% of it is like editing and just like, you know, color correcting and cropping right and getting that perfect frame for a picture. And so when I got that software, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. I started to become a fan of my own work, if that makes sense. And so that's when I kind of like trademarked glotography, and it became a thing and started getting clients, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, 2011.
And you said it is called glotography. How did you come up with this name?
I know I was shooting a lot with my friend, and we would like just mess around like Gloria's photography and glotography, and I think it just kind of stuck. There wasn't like a light bulb moment like, glotography. It just kind of, it was there, it stuck, and I started hearing other people say it, and it kind of became like a household name. I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And so yeah, kind of just stuck with that.
And how has the business spread?
Word of mouth is honestly the best form of advertising. Facebook and social networking helps a lot too. But when you have one satisfied customer, they'll tell another person, and that person tells another person.
How can people see your work?
I would say Facebook right now is the best way. I should get back. I had a website at one point, but it's a lot of maintenance work, and I was doing so much, and I started, you know, a couple other business ventures, so I didn't have time to keep up with it. But I'm in the process of making a new one, and that'll broadcast like my whole portfolio.
Have you ever thought about hiring someone who might have more time?
You know, yeah, I've always been that person. I love to kind of like do things on my own. I'm a very handy person, and I try to be resourceful, and I have a very entrepreneurial spirit, and so I'm always like looking for ways to, you know, cut corners, save money, and learn how to do things on my own. And so obviously I'm a very like particular person, and so if I want something done the right way or my way, then, you know, I'm probably going to do it myself, and that's just my preference.
Describe a typical photo shoot to me.
Okay, so a lot of people don't realize that besides just the couple of hours of shooting, there's like preparation that goes into it. And so a lot of times I'll tell a client like to spend 5 to 10 minutes just looking in front of the mirror and getting comfortable with their facial movements, how they look, and just being aware of just their body. Because the worst thing that can happen is, you know, we get out there in the fields and they're making like, or they look tense, or they might look awkward and feel awkward, which is normal, but when you're in front of the mirror and you're more aware of how you look, then that really helps. And so like there's the wardrobe, the theme, the location before the actual shoot. And so when we get out there, probably the first 10 minutes is just like, okay, just relax, you know, give me a couple movements, go ahead and turn around, look this way, look that way, and I'll kind of direct a little bit and get a feel for how they are and what they're comfortable with or what looks good. And then if they're really like, you know, wanting to see how it's coming out, I'll show them like, hey, okay, this is how you look here, and I'll just kind of flip through a couple of the shots. And so that's that.
If someone wanted to start their own photography business, what advice would you give them?
No, that's a really great question, because I do have a friend who's looking to start their own photography business, and I told them just get good and find what you're really good at. Like just start experimenting, practicing, taking your camera everywhere, and just getting really comfortable with what you do, and just kind of your own finding a way to put your own spin on it. And she was really like stuck on the name. And I was like, okay, don't even worry about the name. Like the name will come. Just find what you're good at first. And so like glowtography, I didn't, buy my camera and said, haha, this is glowtography. No, I started shooting stuff. I got comfortable with what I was doing. And then the name just kind of came while I was doing it. And so photography is an amazing thing to pursue. And so anybody that wants to pursue a business, just go in there and just be passionate about it, and you'll go far.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
For anyone that wants to take up photography, there is no clean-cut, textbook way to do it. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I came here as a pre-med major. I wanted to be a doctor. Like, I literally came in here with no experience. And so it's all about passion and dedication and commitment, and just having this hunger almost for wanting to learn more, and never stop learning, and never be satisfied with where you are, no matter how good you get. And I think that eagerness to keep learning is what's keeping me going.